heard about me. Come when you grab the crown, nigga. Got a body, moving by the pound, nigga. Heard about me. Come when you grab the crown, nigga.
Yeah. Lord. Sometimes when you chosen, it feel like you frozen. Them dreams and them visions in your mind, but you hold them back from yourself, like you don't know you golden. But now it's time to take back the greatness that was stolen. Wearing your heart on your sleeve, those clothes start folding. That shoulda had you taking back the love that you loaned them. Your angels and your ancestors with you and you owe them. They believed in your greatness, so now it's time to show them. Now it's time to dig deeper, gotta activate your genius. Say it's your time and say that shit like you mean it. They was sleeping on your visions, but you already seen them. And time will reveal who was playing and who for real. Now it's time to build. I had to find that spark. Yeah, my life was messy, but I turned it into art. Now I'm busting out the frame. I made power out this pain. They was like, who? Now the world gon' know my name. Now they seeing where I'm at. Yeah, I'm all up in they mentions. Now everybody following. I made it out them trenches. They was like, he said that he was gon' do it and he meant it. I had to find that spark. Now I ain't stopping till I'm finished. Yeah, this that spark. This that spark. This that gotta find that light through the dark. This that gotta turn that pain into art. This that stop sleeping on yourself, gon' start. Yeah, this that spark. This that spark. This that push your soul in and leave your mark. This that stop playing with it, do it from the heart. This that spark. Yeah, this that spark. This that spark. This that spark, this that spark, this that spark. This that spark, yeah. See, I'm here to spark the minds. Tell mama her sun shining, she can open blinds. I made it a while back, see that was hard to vocalize. The way this world vocalize, we blind to who we are. But see, I'm here to open eyes. Self-driven, mobilized, God body globalized. Even the hood feel me, heard the bone thugs harmonize. They wanna see us traumatized, but we broke the traumatized. Now they surprised. I had to find that spark. Remember days trapping, raised round that rock, Canaan Stark. I had to find my power though. Days I was starving, now my bread thick as sourdough. Yeah, I beat the streets and the system. Whoever walked away from me when I was down, I never miss them, cause I'm up now. 18-foot ceilings, I'm out of touch now. Never dug down. Lakes in the backyard, I'm seeing ducks now. They saying it's luck now. No, it's all God. Anything I want, it's all mine over matter. Keep your statistics, we over data. Forget the naysaying, we over chatter. We up now, it's time to drop the ladder. This that spark. It's time to hit your target, throw that dart. When you're back against the wall, you are art. You are arts, so you ought to spark. Yeah. It's a marathon, on your mark. Ready, set, go, never let go. You are special. This that spark. Yeah. This that spark. Spark.
to the soil. Ancient memories kept alive in these coils. Travel through dimensions, then we jump right out the portal. This flesh will expire, but the soul is immortal. Our story is forever, encoded through these DNA strands. So the ops made a plan to keep them severed. But we are the connectors, serving as a bridge to spark your power deep within and never settle for lesser. We don't fear no oppressor. On this road, let's travel. We embodying the strength of a million ancestors. Let's go. Standing 10 toes, equipped for any weather. Talking rain, sleet, and snowfall, drought, famine, a world war. We on a mission for enlightenment by any measure, for real. And I still got open wounds to heal, but I'm out in the field like a samurai, sharpen the blade, moving peace, but I'm licensed to kill, okay?
Purity and loyalty, I sing from the depths of my heart. Harmony inside of me, reflecting the light of my guide. Is what you are, a star, a star, a star. It's what you are, a star. And my orbit is full of love. It's what you are, a star, a star, a star. It's what you are, a star. And my orbit is full of love.
Eye to eye with some evil forces. The false gods they idolize, about to leave as corpses. See, the veil then got lifted on the ones that's wicked, but they can only stay in power long as we endorse it. When we attach to shit that's toxic, cause we think it's culture. Your president ain't solve a problem, why you keep on voting? The world at your fingertips, but you too busy scrolling. Do Instagram deserve to see all of your sacred moments? Cause you can follow trends for attention, but when you speaking truth, they gon' shadow ban your mentions. It's all fun and games when niggas is going viral, but don't let your thirst for fame slowly grow into a sickness. Cause it's survival of the fittest, and life can be your heaven on earth, or this shit can be your prison. Boss it up, don't be the victim. We chose to walk the righteous path, it's time to stand up on that business. Say
Purity and loyalty, I sing from the depths of my heart. Harmony inside of me, reflecting the light of my guide. Is what you are, a star, a star, a star. It's what you are, a star. And my orbit is full of love. It's what you are, a star, a star, a star. It's what you are, a star. And my orbit is full of love.
Yeah, yo, my divinity is carved into eternity. My validity evolved into my currency. It's really in me, it ain't on me. I am woman, so I come with certain knowing. Cosmic star, I'm always flowing, attached to no identity. Their reality is poison, call me remedy. When I tuned into their noises, I was questioning my faith and my sanity, saying shit was never handed to me. Now speak abundance on my legacy. Free all my people through the galaxy. All is fair in love and war, so I'm pulling out my swords for the melanated starseeds and goddesses. A lotus at my feet and a Glock 9 tucked, cause I'm all about the balancing. Eternal entity, never worry about luck. What's for me is always guaranteed. I share
Purity
I share
loyalty,
I share.
I sing from the depths of my heart. Harmony inside of me, reflecting the light of my guide. Is what you are, a star, a star, a star. It's what you are, a star. And my orbit is full of love. It's what you are, a star, a star, a star. It's what you are, a star. And my orbit is full of love.
I'm past the point of complacency. Don't play with me. Chosen like Moses, I'll raise the sea. Just wait and see. Addiction and violence, ancestors had to wait on me. 120 pounds of flesh, but all this weight on me. Heavyweight champ, caterpillar to butterfly, I still sting like a bee. Land of milk and honey for the rest of my team. They was resting on me, now the rest history. Only right that I profit, I'm a walking prophecy. But I'm running this shit, runway was made for me. A flight of fashion week, fight or flight, angel wings. Bigger picture movie screens, I was the missing puzzle piece. Enemies puzzle how I piece the shit together, I found my inner peace. My interior clean, came in chains and whips and they still want the same thing. I just wanted my freedom, I slayed every demon. R.I.P. put their name up on a T. Hibiscus tea, my cup runneth over, whole world clap for queen. I'm on an ultralight beam, I'm an ultralight being. As above so below, from the heavens and the skies to the roots of the trees. I'm screaming free the world until the whole world is free.
That's what it sounds like when you liberated. You sound free. You sound more confident. You sound more at peace. One thing about me, I ain't let nobody stop my flow, not a soul. Who y'all bless, no one curse. Yeah. I'm in a new season of life, I'm feeling right. Was in a dark place, now I finally see the light. My temple illuminating, was stuck in a house, ruminating. I detox, feeling rejuvenated. That Paula Santos is fumigating, cleansing my space now. I used to be spaced out. She wanted me to open up to her like space bar, but I couldn't build with her. She left me with a tab. But I ain't tripping, I'm at peace with it. Blessed the sky, just went through custom, getting accustomed to blue skies, blue waters. Remember days I ain't have 2 quarters. Now I just touched 50 and I'm sensing some more coming. And I ain't even 50, but I move like an elder. Wisdom and knowledge flowing within. The YNs respect me cause I used to be them. Now I show them the way. Some days we don't know what to say, man, you gotta just flow. You gotta just flow. Flow. Flowing like faucet streams and riverbanks. Reflecting on days I could barely fill up the tank. Now these days I pull to the pump, 50 on 10 and tell a homeless man to get what he want. Building good karma. Used to get meds from Big Pharma. Now I plan to buy some land and be a big farmer. Yeah, I used to live to eat, but now I eat to live. Life ain't about what you get, it's about what you give. But never give up your peace, gave her a peace of mind. It left me puzzled, I couldn't picture my healing. Now it's 13-foot ceilings, painted pictures revealing. They took the top off the Jeep, I can't picture the ceiling. With my hands out the top, touching these wings, what a beautiful feeling. Went from feeling dead inside to a beautiful living. I had to grow, knowledge of self, I had to know. Sometimes when you don't know where to go, man, you gotta just flow. You gotta just flow. Flow.
From the darkness of your mind, your soul, coming from a melanin dark matter, moving at the speed of light. Africa Bambata, in honor of the goddess Sarah, one energy, one spirituality, one feeling, one of knowledge. Sarah, she is Osset, she is Heteret, she is Hat and Bastet. She is the power of meditation, Zara. One belief, Zara. She is of the goddess, the one God, Atun Amara, Allah Ptah Kepara, Zara. Did I frighten you?
The time has come for bad things to end. The time has come for life to begin. The time has come for the war of the
Ether, the home of the gods, the realm of spiritual existence, where thoughts are formed and sound is born. Here we exist formlessly until our bodies manifest. It is here where the wars began, where higher mind battles ego and karmic debt comes to collect. Start at this place to reclaim your ascendant self, my child. Because we all know that after the wars come peace, 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 peace.
Learn to cloud surf while never leaving Earth. 10 toes firmly planted in the dirt for what it's worth. See my life flash before my eyes a couple times, so I'd be lying if I said I don't believe in the divine. For reasons we can't find, the truth will probably blow our minds. This energy in the universe send chills down your spine. Had a talk with a goddess about human design. Pull my coat to how I need to get my chakras aligned. Gotta break some bad habits, it's addition by subtraction. Move away from bad actors trying to leech off your action. It's the laws of attraction, gotta see it before it happens. Gotta believe it with a passion, then receive this beautiful madness. Find a pattern in the chaos, their assessment was way off. You build it from the ground up, you own it, so ain't no layoffs. Your energy is equity, cashing on your day off. Hope to reach a couple souls, it's all a part of the payoff.
Peace and blessings, star seeds. You see, I can't say it as long. I think I've been singing it too long. Peace and blessings, star seeds. Peace and blessings, star seeds. It is the goddess Rael, and as you can hear, I barely have a voice, but I am here tonight. And welcome to Pronoia Starseed Podcast, y'all. Yes, tonight is a Pronoia night, and tonight we have a very special starseed in the building. That's right. Ptah, the Sun Chaser, is in the building. That's right. It is Temple Talks time. Hope you got your Bible. Hope you got your notepad. Hope you ready to tap in. I will not hold you too long because honestly, I don't know how long this voice of mine will hold out. So without further ado, my good friend, your brother, my brother, the star seed, Sun Chaser Ptah. Hey, you're muted. I mute you.
Mute. Okay.
You good?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, I can hear you.
What's up? What's up?
Peace. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good now.
Cool. Feel you. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Good. Cool.
So How you been? It's been a minute. You're
Yeah, it has been a
back.
minute. Yep, back. It's been good, you know. Life's been lifing and just going through the ebbs and flows of all these transitions, and you already know how it goes.
I already know all these shifts and all this
Yep,
energy and all this change and this new Aquarius energy, and we getting ready to go into the year of the fire horse. And
yep.
yes, we are getting ready to close out the Gregorian. What is it?
Gregarian, yeah,
That one.
yeah,
That calendar.
yeah. The fake New Year,
Yes. So we're getting ready to enter into the fake new year.
yeah,
So with that energy, it's a good time to have you back, Sun Chaser.
yep.
So tell us what are you tapping into tonight? What have you been feeling?
We were on the phone the other day. I think it was yesterday, and you brought up Abraham and Sarah,
Yes.
and that kind of got my wheels turning about some things to speak on tonight. So it should be pretty interesting to dig into.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
um,
Yeah. Now I
go
was
ahead.
gonna say, tell them to so that Abraham and Sarah story is so funny to me, and like I'm always laughing when I hear it because in my head I always envision that angel being like, for
Hmm.
real, like I'm really standing right in front of you, an angel with wings. Like, do you not see my wings? I come from God, and you asking me, you questioning what I am saying to you, and for him
Right.
to just lock it down and hush it up, I just
Yep. For
like.
sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell me your
Yeah.
interpretation of that scripture.
Well, for me, kind of what we're going to go into is like the allegory of scriptures, because like even as a child, I think I've shared before, I grew up um, a minister's child. He's now he's a pastor. My father's a pastor, but I grew up, heavy into the Christian realm and around a lot of predominant leaders and stuff within the church that my family were a part of, and they have churches and serve in some capacity in the church. So um, yeah, when I was younger, I'd always hear these stories, and I'd be like you just said, like there's an angel standing right in front of you telling you something. Like, why are you not like? Who wouldn't listen to that? You know what I'm saying? And in my now, older years, that I'm digging through this knowledge, and becoming more self-aware. The veil thins, and you start seeing things under the surface of what is actually being said to bring more sense to what's being said. And to me, that's ultimate freedom, right? It's the knowledge and the wisdom, that opens our minds, our bodies, our souls to deeper understanding of ancient text, because they were written for us, and with the responsibility of cleaning out our temples. But in the process of cleaning out the temples, it opens the mind, and then you're able to see a lot deeper than what we were before. So, but yeah, the interpretation that I was going to get into about Abraham and Sarah is it comes out of Galatians. It's Galatians 4:24. So I hope all of y'all got y'all's Bibles or an app or laptop with the Bible um, app on there. But a lot of the things that the Bible talks about, the Bible is so vast. There's so many levels. There are correct interpretations, astrological interpretations, psychological. It's this whole book is like a book on psychology, the mind, how it works, put into more of a story form. As a people, we would tell stories, and those stories would have encrypted messages within them, and a lot of that, I believe, was to hide some of the secrets, because it was only for those who were deep divers, those who did the work, the due diligence and the work, to be able to interpret it correctly. And so with that being said, the Abraham and Sarah story for me, and I can even like interject, like most people, like everybody should be able to some way or another insert themselves into a character in that in the scriptures, because these scriptures are based upon things that are biological, psychological, astrological, like I said before. And so even with the Abraham and Sarah story, even with my own story, Abraham on a surface level, Abraham was asked to, by God to test his faith to sacrifice his son, and as a child, I'm like, man, like what, like, God asking this man, testing him to see where his faith and where his, belief stands and his worship towards God, and to ask him to kill his son. That sounds pretty diabolical, like, I used to kind of be like worrying me as a child, like, man, God be asking some crazy stuff, and so really, a lot of these stories allegorically are basically like stories of the alchemical process that takes place within our mind and in our body, our brain, and our functions within the body. And so Abraham, being one of the most faithful men to God, and was given the gift of being the father of Israel. He was the father of many nations. Came from Abraham. And so whenever I hear about Sarah having the child at such at an old age, I do believe on a surface level that there's some truth to that. That before we got into where we are now, where we're constantly bombarded with propaganda, programming, toxic chemicals in our food, it's kind of put us in a place to where our minds have been shut. And now that we're in this current shift, these minds are starting to open up and see things deeper than what they really are. And I believe that story has a lot to do that, in the sense that we have to sacrifice a part of ourself in order to gain whatever it is that the creator or source or whatever you want to call it, the universe, has to offer for us. And a lot of that has to do with shedding the flesh, or shedding the carnal mind and the carnal aspects of our being, the animalistic part of our being. And so with Sarah being, Sarah meaning a noble woman, and she was gifted a child at an older age, but to me it means like a rebirth within oneself. Sorry, there's like these little fruit flies flying around. And whenever there's a child born, allegorically, I believe that's something inside of us that's being reborn inside of us to start a new dispensation within our journey, because we're, it can be very traumatic for certain people to have lived a life that they have to look back on and be like, whoa, like, not that I had it all the way wrong, but, believing some of the stuff that we did, it can be quite the shock, like there's a lot of deconstruction happening. If you on Instagram and you see it, of some of the things that the church has been exposed on, should I say, and people are starting to come out of that bondage mindset of the dogma of what religion represents in this physical realm, and moving more into the spiritual realm of things, and knowing that this is a spiritual text, not so much just a surface level physical text. And so, when we're tested with certain things, a lot of times we can probably feel like we've been asked to sacrifice our own child, because you're actually having to sacrifice a lot of the things that we were taught as children. And then we have to go back in and nurture that child and rear that child. So it's like a rebirth. It's like basically like being pregnant again. Obviously women are only biologically able to get pregnant, but each one of us has a seed within us that gets cultivated, and when you have to tear that down, you have to look back at all the things that you had been programmed with and had learned, and you realize all those things weren't all completely true, it's almost like starting back at the foundation. You got to build back up from that foundation. And so it's interesting to be in the times that we're in right now and seeing all this take place, so it's been very interesting. But also with an example of how you can insert yourself, Abraham and Sarah had two sons, one being Isaac, the other one being Ishmael. And Isaac being born to Sarah, whenever she got the news from the angel that she was going to get a child at such an old age, she laughed. That's what she did. She laughed. She was like, I'm not going to. That's impossible for me to have a child at this age. I can't even, I don't have eggs to fertilize and da 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 da. And so what's interesting enough is that Isaac's name actually means laughter, or to laugh. So she named Isaac after her encounter with the angel. And so there's a lot of significance there, especially within my journey, because actually my last name is Slaughter. That's my government last name. So it's funny because, I used to be in the barbecue business, and now, I'm plant-based now, due to some health issues that I had that ultimately triggered my spiritual journey and my awareness being opened up more. And so when I think about Abraham, being asked to slaughter his son, I think about the flesh, and I actually was cooking flesh, and I was in the flesh, and all those things have levels of correspondence, in the physical and the spiritual. And coming out of that, people would tell me, like, I actually was dating a girl at the time, and she told me that God wouldn't bless me unless I stopped eating pork. That's where it all started. She was like, God's not going to bless you because, one of the Levitical laws in the scriptures is, you're not supposed to eat pork. It has what's clean and unclean. And I laughed at her. I was like, yeah, right. Like at the time I was actually wearing bacon is a snack shirt. You know what I mean? Like that's how, like when she was telling me, and I'm like, yeah, right. Like who's this chick to tell me I'm not going to, I got to stop eating pork. I mean, that's my business right now. That's what I sell. I sell barbecue. That's really pork heavy. But she was right. Like when things started progressing within my journey in the culinary field, I did realize that I was going to have to give it up. And so, that part of myself had to die. And it was hard, because that was my dream, to have a barbecue food truck, to be out amongst the public and doing the thing that I love. So it really challenged me to have to make that decision. And it was a progression, it didn't all happen at once. And once I had the health issues, I tried to run the barbecue truck while I was vegan, vegetarian at the time. And I did like 2 events, and I realized I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, damn, like I can't be feeding people, shit that I don't eat. You know what I mean? So it just didn't feel right, And so that was the slaughter part of it, and then the laughter part, is me laughing like, yeah, I'm not going to, like, this is my dream. I asked for this. It really was like a year and a half in. I'm like, I just got this food truck. I just started doing, my dream. And so I'm very big on names and very big on words. So if you take the S off of slaughter, you get what word?
Laughter.
Right. And so I can correspond, like when you get to a certain point in your walk, you can start to correspond your own journey in the scripture, because the book is a representation of each and every individual that picks it up, whether they realize it or not.
Oh, I believe that. I do.
So, there's 2 sides to it. It is the body. It's got a spine, and it's got 2 sides. It's got the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Covenant and the New Covenant. And interesting enough, the Testament actually the word testes comes from the word testes, like your testes, which represent the body. You know, back in those days when they would make a pact or a promise, they would stick their hand under their thigh, but you know, that was the way they did. It's like my word. So they would, you know, grab their their testes. And then,
Okay.
mint, right? Mint means your mind. So, you know, when you talk about the Old and New Testament, it's the old mind, body, no, body and mind, and then the new body and mind. New covenant meaning your awareness or coming to almost like an enlightenment, you know. And that's why it says, you know, that most people say the old law was done away with, but you know, even in the New Testament, Christ says, you know, he didn't come to abolish the law, he came to uphold it. And the law isn't so much a physical law, it's a spiritual law. So a lot of the things in here that are allegory have to do with the psychology of a man, you know, especially when it comes to like the dietary laws. There's actually a book called the Epistles of Barnabas that actually explained that Moses didn't mean it wasn't exactly physically eating. It was the mindset of a man being clean or unclean. And you know, swine, to think like a swine is to be ungrateful, to wallow. You know, pigs are pretty dirty. They wallow in their own stuff. They'll eat just about anything. But the one thing in that particular book, the Epistles of Barnabas, it talked about how the pig to be pig-minded is to only need your master when you're hungry, but as soon as you're fed, you forget who your master is, right? The ungratefulness. And then, you know, you have the clean ruminant animal like the cow, which ruminate means to basically chew, or the chew to cud means to digest. You know, the cow will eat grass. It has like 5 stomachs, I think, and it'll eat it, and it'll spit it back up, chew on it for a little bit to break it down, the fibers. And so that to me is like an allegory of how we are supposed to rightfully interpret things that were meant for us to interpret on a deeper level. You know, when somebody gives you new information, sometimes it takes you back. You be like, I got to chew on that for a little bit. You know, it's got to digest. It's got to be ruminant in the mind to process, because it is a process. And so, leading into the scripture I'm going to go out of, which is Galatians 4:24, we'll start at actually 4:22. And do you have it up? Or are you going to read along?
Sure, I can pull it up. Hold on. See that Bible. My Bible's so big, it's actually holding up my computer. So.
Oh yeah, I got a thick one too. It's like pretty.
Oh yeah. Good. So what was it? Galatians
4:24. Yep. We'll start in 20. We're starting at 22.
Okay, so 4:22.
4:22, yeah.
Through 24.
Right.
Okay.
All right. And so it says, "For it is written that Abraham had 2 sons, the one by a bondmaid, the other by a free woman. But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, but he of the free woman was by the promise. Which things are an allegory?" Remember that, the word allegory, because we're going to come back to that. Which things are an allegory? "For these are the 2 covenants, the one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage, which is Agar. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answereth to Jerusalem, which now is and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free." And remember, it says, which is above, right? These key words, you know. Which is above, I lost my place, is free, which is the mother of us all. "For it is written, Rejoice, thou barren that bearest not, break forth and cry. Thou that travailest not, for the desolate hath many more children than she which hath an husband." All right, so that's where we're going to stop. And so we're going to go back up, and we're going to look at the word allegory. And I'm actually going to look up the word allegory so I can give you what it says from the dictionary. All right, and it says, an allegory is a story, poem, or picture where characters, events, and settings represent abstract ideas, moral qualities, or spiritual political meanings. That's what an allegory is. So a lot of people don't look up words. You know, they'll just take the pastor's word for it, or they'll just glaze over what that word means to get into whatever the pastor is interpretation that he's gotten, which is usually just, you know, not, and I'm not here to like down anybody or, you know, I don't mean any harm, but, you know, they kind of go off their own mind and their own so-called wisdom on what they think that means. But, you know, this was written with a direct message that is interpreted any other way than what what it was written to be. You know, because a lot of times you'll share stuff with people, especially in religious sects, and they'll be like, well, everybody has their own interpretation, you know, which can be true. But we have to understand that there's a foundational truth within this text, a very intentional foundational text. And so a lot of times when I'm speaking to somebody, you know, I'll bring up this scripture because it says right here that it's an allegory, which means whatever this story is telling is much deeper than just the surface level of what's being said. So you have to rightly divide what is false and what's true. And we're always going to be battling with our mind. Like the last podcast when we talked about Jacob and his encounter with the angel, that was him wrestling with himself, you know, wrestling with that flesh and that carnal mind of his to let the light in, because angels is an anagram for angle, which they're light messengers. So these things aren't just, you know, white babies with wearing all white with wings.
Right.
You know, this is actually talking about photon, which is light. And that's how we receive messages. That's how we receive information, is from light, especially from the sun. And, you know, the gamma rays and things that come from the universe that we, you know, that we're starting to, you know, understand more. And so, as you can see, it talks about a bondmaid and a free woman. So Abraham had two wives. He had his wife, Sarah, and he also had a bondmaid which he had a child with. And that was the child Ishmael. And she was actually a bondmaid, is like a slave woman. You know, he had a child with his bondmaid, slave woman. And out of these two sons, there were born two nations. One being, they say, the Arab nation, or the Muslim world when you talk about religion, and then the other one would have been the child of promise, which was the son of one of the sons, or the patriarchies of the Israel, the people. And so if we read on, it talks about how but he who was born of the bondwoman was born after the flesh, and the flesh is the key word. Flesh meaning the carnal mind, the carnal body, the physical body, which we're here to alchemize and transcend. And while we're in that physicalness and in that flesh, we're actually in bondage, because we're in bondage to the physicality of our existence, separated from spirit, you know, because flesh and spirit can't dwell within the same capacity. They're always at enmity with each other. And so it corresponds, the bondwoman and her child being born after the flesh. But he of the free woman, which is Sarah's son, was by promise. And so what we're looking at here is basically the struggle between our mind, our mind that, you know, we have a left side and a right hemisphere of the brain, a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. And the left hemisphere is usually the one that is, not usually, is the one that's considered the flesh side. That's the masculine side, which is why they say you only use 10% of your brain, because it's the part of yourself that is privy to survival. You know, it's like the ego part of yourself and the physicality part, the physical part of oneself. And one must cross over into the east, which is your right side, which is the divine, the feminine side, the divine feminine side. And that's where your creativity and spirituality and all that stuff dwells. And so that door has to be opened in order for there to be a perfect union between the masculine and feminine, which also leaks out into the physical world and even marriage, or when two people come together to even have a child. All these things that are outward are also inward. And even deeper than that, if you start looking up the names of the people being spoken of, which I encourage everybody to do, because each and every single name of a place all has a meaning. And like I said, it's not only the mind, but it's also how the body biologically works. And one day I was just kind of digging deeper, and I saw that it was actually talking about the nervous system as well, because Hagar was the bondwoman's name that Abraham had his other child with, Ishmael. And if you look up the word Hagar meaning, if it'll give me the right one, because Google likes to change stuff, but Hagar means flight. It means stranger, foreigner, or to flee or wander. And so when I saw flight, I was really deep in studies about the nervous system. And, whenever we're in survival mode, they call it fight or flight. Mm-hmm. Right. And that's when you're in bondage. I've been in fight or flight, extreme fight or flight. And you do feel like a prisoner. You do feel like there's no way out. And there's times that I even felt like I wanted to take myself out, because when you get severely dysregulated, you no longer have, it's almost like you no longer have autonomy over your own mind and body. So you become a prisoner to yourself. You become a prisoner within your own body, And then the noble woman, being Sarah, represents more of like the, I think it's the parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest. You have your sympathetic and your parasympathetic that represent your nervous system. And when you're in a place of rest, in a place of peace, your body works more harmoniously and more in a homeostasis type of environment. And so when it talks about the nervous system, it's almost as if, when you start to uncover these things, which usually is referred to as dark sayings or parables within the scriptures, it could really dysregulate somebody to the point where they lose their faith, hope, and everything, because if you've done something, I can imagine, like, if my father came to the truth. He's lived his whole life as a pastor. He's lived his whole life knowing just one thing and playing a character in which intentionally he meant for good. And to come to to knowledge that all that stuff has to be cast away, and then you have to start new. I mean, that can really throw somebody off and really put them in a state of wandering or feeling lost or feeling like a stranger in the world, Yeah. And so that's why I think it's important that we have patience with our counterparts or friends or family or whoever who are not quite where we might be as we grow. And, we plant these seeds, because progress is a slow process, and it has to be done over time, because if it's done too quickly, it can actually really be detrimental to somebody. So to wake somebody up too early, it's like, I don't know if you've watched Step Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Like, when he was like sleep, he did his sleepwalking thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't wake him up. Like, he's like, why? I gotta wake him up, And he wakes him up, and then he just, he goes crazy. He doesn't know where he's at, and he's like frailing around. I mean, that's kind of like how it is. And so, so with that being said, I just wanted to share a scripture with everyone that they can kind of chew on and ruminate on, and that looking deeper can only do you well, do you good. And to question things. A lot of times within the church, they tell you not to question anything or not to question God, and that this is the infallible word of God and spirit, breathed by the Spirit, And as I grew up, or I grew into who I am now, which I'm still a baby, really. I've only been on the journey for maybe 6 years now, so there's still much for me to learn. I'm forever a teacher and a student. But it brings me great joy to be able to share this stuff with people, because a lot of people want proof. They want to see it for themselves. And so I like to be able to be studied myself and be well versed within the scriptures, so I can have an answer for people's questions when they have questions, because knowledge is power, but knowledge lived is even more powerful.
Yes.
And so not only just like my dad used to say, don't just be readers of the word, be doers of the word, because knowledge is basically useless without putting it into action. And so as you read this book, it's an amazing book, you learn more about yourself. It's basically a book about you. And so, the allegory part was the biggest part. And then really just knowing that anytime you wrestle with yourself, that's supposed to happen. You're going to have times of, where you're, there's a word for it, but it's escaping me right now. But there's like this separation between what's real and what's seemingly real, And, I was really excited when I found out this information, but until you're tested, do you really feel what it's like to have a belief system pulled out from under you? Because, I went through some hard times over the last few years where literally I thought I was going to die. And, I got my parents and family being like, it's God calling you back. And, once you know something, you can't really go back. There's no going back. I even tried. I was like, what, I'll give church a try. And I knew it wasn't going to stick, because I'm too deep into it. And I went, and I was like, wow, this is not I'm out here by myself. I was wandering, which my name actually means too. My name Perry, my real name Perry means stranger, wanderer, and foreigner. So it's exactly the same name as the Hagar here has. And so my foundation was shaken because I had nothing to have faith in but myself. And I'd never had that. I've never had to fully rely on myself to dig myself out of a big old pile of ish. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And, it's scary, because we like to outsource our power and our reliance and our dependence on something outside of us. Yes. And when that's gone, when you're no longer codependent on something, you don't have.
It's scary, but it becomes so powerful later. And it also gives you that direct connection to the true divine higher self within you, because it's like like you said, we always outsource it, give it to something outside of ourselves, and we truly don't know. Like, you can believe in something, right? Like, my whole life, I believed in God. I deeply believed in God, but I did not know God. Right. I did not know God until I needed to know God. And once I knew God, I could not unknow God. It was like, oh, this junk been here the whole time. But it was like, it showed up in a way that it never showed up before, in a time where I never expected it to. And it was like a realization. And it's crazy because before we did the show, before we came on, that thought of, we learn so much through our suffering, just like you spoke about Abraham being requested to slaughter his son. And how even if he didn't, how sufferable that had to be just to think of the fact that you have to do something like that. But we learn a lot. And it also turns us into the type of being that leans directly on divine. Like, no one can understand that you have this request. Like, if you tell other people, like, God want me to kill my son, they be looking at you like you're crazy, right? So it's like, this is between only you and God. Like, you can't really even lean on nobody else, because this is not what this is about. And so I can definitely see my life in different stories within the Bible. And while you were saying that, I thought about it, because of course I think about tarot sometimes, and popped in my head. It's like, we're all on the fool's journey, right? We go through these different books, we go through these different stories, these allegories that are in the Bible, but we also look at our lives. Some of us have been Jobs in our lives. Some of us has been, gone from Saul to Paul's in our lives. We've all had like different types of transitions that are also in that Bible, and we don't even realize that could be your book. I tell people all the time, you could write your own Bible based on your own life. You could write a Bible. Don't tell me you absolutely can, because those stories are so true. And when you also said that we need to look up the meanings of the names, so true. A while ago, I think I spoke about how Osset in Egypt, when she had to put her husband back together, she called upon her sister, and then she called upon Thoth, which is thought, it's the thought. So she was going within, and she was calling her sister, like I think her sister name might have been Wisdom or something similar to that, and then she had to go into her thoughts. But it was really her tapping into these different parts of herself, not an actual physical being showing up for her, but her actually tapping into these, because she had such a big thing to do. And so in a way they had to explain it, and in a way for us to understand it. It's like a personification of these deities, but it's really a part of you. And so I can see that in my life. So I love how you tell us that we really, we can, all of us, I'm sure, relate to a story or two in that Bible, even the Jesus story, the sacrifice of someone who's coming to do nothing more than to try to set people free and tell them the truth, being demonized, being sacrificed, and then having to be reborn, again, so people can be in awe of the fact that you can survive this type of sacrifice. It's so much that we can relate to in our own lives. If you just look at your life, you've been through these Bible stories. I'm sure you have, because all of us have been, I know I have. I've been reborn at least. I call myself now. I'm like Isis. I'm the goddess of 10,000 names. I didn't been reborn so many times, and it's because when we go through things, like you said, it can be life shaking. It can change your whole perspective on everything, and you are no longer the person you were when you believed the things that you believed before.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Is there any way, I'm on a juice fast right now. I'm like on day 10. And
yes, you can take a break.
Is it okay if I use the bathroom really quick?
Yes, let's take a break. We can. I'm gonna play a videos like 3 minutes, so take a quick break and we'll come right back. Cool. All right, y'all.
I had to elevate my mental. I got up off my ass and pressed the gas on my potential. I tamed my temptations, now I'm taking care of my temple. I pull up to the function, skip the line, I'll show credentials. They know I'm presidential. Everything monumental when you recognize your moment. See, I built it on my own, so ain't no question if I own it. They used to laugh, call me alone, and now they asking for a loan. See, my ex said I wouldn't succeed. I plant my feet and now I grown. See, I used to be a stoner, now I'm high off life. I'm up high in plain sight, just hopped off a flight. Me and Hunt, old kid, now they gotta raise the price, cause I invested in myself and made it back overnight. Dog, we all fall short, don't give a fuck about your height. In America, do you wrong, so you better know your rights. See, they do it for attention, I just follow intuition. I'm on a mission, why they missing? I ain't difficult, I'm different. Nah, I can't settle. See, I bet it on myself, now everything getting better. Nah, I can't settle. They want me to come down, so don't meet me on my level. Nah, I can't settle. See, I was low, now I'm on higher level. And they keep asking how I did it, doggone special. I'm just special. If life's a marathon, I deserve a medal. Yeah, nah, I can't settle. See, I was low, now I'm on higher level. And they keep asking how I did it, doggone special. I'm just special. If life's a marathon, with my gold medal. See, I used to try to force it, now I flow with it. They threw dirt up on my name, but now I grow with it. I used to wait up on my blessing, now I go get it. I'm done waiting, done debating. If God tests me, let him grade me. This that top shelf flow, yeah, I'm way out your reach. Used to choose between shoes, then I tell him give me each. But I don't brag about no fashion, cause I ain't one for the flash. Used to sag, now I'm a grown man. I keep my belt fast and had so much on my plate. But then I started fasting, then I started meditating, then I started levitating. This that self-knowledge, black man educated, could've been in that cell. Now every day a celebration. Now these days I practice celibacy and focus on development. And I ain't really emotional, I'm just emotionally intelligent. Shawty call me selfish cause I don't focus on my betterment. These days I'm on a higher level. No, I can't settle. Whoa. No, I can't settle. See, I bet it on myself. Now everything getting better. Nah, I can't settle. They want me to come down. Told them meet me on my level. Nah, I can't settle. See, I was low, now I'm on higher level. And they keep asking how I did it, dog, I'm special. I'm just special. If life's a marathon, I deserve a medal. Yeah, nah, I can't settle. See, I was low, now I'm on higher level. And they keep asking how I did it, dog, I'm special. I'm just special. If life's a marathon, I want my gold medal. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Yes.
Woo, I needed that.
Yes. Yeah. So you on a juice fast, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm on day 10 of a 2-week juice fast. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Like right here I got some mandarin, orange, pineapple, and habanero juice.
Jeez. Really? You had to throw the habanero in there?
Oh yeah, I guess everything active.
Yeah. That's what's up. You're gonna have to do us a whole I know you the Sun Chaser, we doing Temple Talks. But y'all know before he was the Sun Chaser doing the Temple Talks over here, he's always been the plant master. Okay.
Oh, sure.
And yeah, so he's gonna have to give us some tips as we move into the new year, when we start getting on our health, because everybody want to be on their health thing at the end of the year. We all in the gym and want to get flashy, so you can we'll do an episode for that next year.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do that in January in the in-between when we're going between two seasons.
Yeah. Or we can even do it even right, like you said, or even right before the real new year, right before spring.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that'll work too.
Yeah.
All right. But yes, I love the talk tonight. I really do. And then Starseeds, don't mind us. I know we look, me and Ptah, we talk like this all the time. We get deep. I also want to say that next season, you guys will be getting clips from, because a lot of times you guys don't get to see backstage. Sometimes I will have a whole podcast with somebody backstage, and I'm not lying. When you came in earlier, did you see the purple room?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll start off in the purple room when we're starting to do our little sound checks, but sometimes it turns into a whole conversation, and it'll be information that we don't get to here. So I'll be making little shorts next season so you guys can get a little clips of what goes on backstage, because sometimes them conversations get so deep. I'll be like, dang, we gotta make sure we talk about that, and we surely do not.
Yeah, that's dope though. That's cool.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be dope. So anything else you want to add and talk to the people about tonight?
Yeah, I was actually kind of just reading about, when I was talking about spirit and being with enmity with the flesh and how they can't dwell together. And I was just reading further down into it where we had stopped. And on 29 and 30, I think it was 29 and 30. It says, but as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now. Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So that kind of goes along with what I was saying. I think there's even a precept in the scriptures that back this up, where it talks about how the spirit and the flesh are always at enmity together. They can't dwell within the same place. You have to cast away the flesh in order to be free, to have that peace, because you can't have two rulers. It's either one or the other. You can't play, you can't straddle the fence. It's either one or the other.
You can't serve two gods.
Right. So, and then that kind of goes into the law, and esoterically, law, or even definite. We'll just go over the definition. Law is the measure of something. When we talk about a law, there's a degree of measurement, usually based upon morality, of what, if you go this far, then you're breaking something. But if you stay back this far, then you're good, right? It's like a ruler. That's why they call kings rulers, because they're the ones that rightly judge things. And that's how we get the ruler with all the little numbers on it. And the law for me means length and width, because that's what you measure with. It's all angles and lines. And when you think about squaring the circle with the zodiac, it's all mathematics, right? It's all numbers. And I'm sure, the guy does numerology on here. I'm sure he's on here somewhere. He knows, all about that. And the measure of things, there's 30 degrees in each house. And they all should add up to 360, which is a complete circle, which is what church means. Church means circle. It comes from the word circe. It's actually the same word as circus too. Circus. Yeah.
and oh my God! Then you got the ringleader, the guy in the middle of the circus, and everybody's, when the pulpit is in the middle, and everybody's sitting around.
Yeah, and it also has to deal with astrology too, because that's the web. That's the mother's web. The circus has animals in it, and usually the circus tent, the old school circus tents, when you look at them, it's like a web, and they have the divided little, the triangles. One's red, one's white, one's red, one's white, which represent the houses of the zodiac. So it's cyclical. So then they have the animals in there, and of course you've got animals and things that animals represent each sign of the zodiac. So it gets pretty deep and expansive.
What the hell did you just do to me? You just boom.
Yeah.
Wow. That is crazy. Did y'all? I mean, okay. Now you about to go. Got me digging down another rabbit hole. Thanks. I appreciate that.
There's many rabbit holes, but yeah, that's what I love to let people know, that it's not a dogmatic thing. It's actually something that is within you, that when you bring it into, when you bring the knowledge into practice, you fulfill the law by doing that, because rightly so, when you are your best self, your higher self, you automatically do what we call as righteous, which the word righteous comes from the word righteous, which is the right hemisphere, which is the place where we're trying to cross over to from the left to the right, which is it's really the story of crossing the Red Sea, the Israelites being lost in the wilderness. I mean, all these stories are very repetitive. They're just told in many different ways. And to me, it's really exciting, because I'm an investigator. I love information. I love the spiritual aspect, which is the unseen things that are very deep beyond the surface level. Because for anything, if you're going to dig for a buried treasure, you're not going to get to it by just sitting on the spot where it's at. You got to take a shovel and dig in there. And under the soil, it's dark. And that's why, they use these words like dark sayings. A lot of times people equate darkness with being bad, but without darkness, there is, that was the very first thing creation was made from, was darkness, melanin. Everything that exists in this world has to have some substance or some level of melanin in their body. The same thing as plants. Chlorophyll is synonymous with melanin. It's a light receptor. It takes light and transmute it into energy. And so we're very, very powerful beings. And with that law and that length and width comes the law also means love and wisdom, because without love and wisdom, the law can't be fulfilled.
Love and wisdom.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That balance. Yes, absolutely.
Just like even in Kemet, in judgment, it says your heart has to be light as a feather. So, intentionally, you have to be, you have to be sincere and be serious about the work, because it directly affects your soul's journey, not anybody else's. So
What you eat don't make me. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
That's right. We all responsible for ourselves in the day of judgment. Can't slick talk upon the day of judgment. Movement similar to a serpent.
Exactly. And it's funny, like, in order to reach us, when we talk about spirit, spirit just meaning really, in etymology just means to breathe, right? It's breath, it's respiration, it's inspiration. All those things are all the same thing. That's why they say this book is breathed by God or inspired by God. But men wrote this book, so for somebody to be inspired by God means that we already know that the creator or the universe is derived within us. It's inside of us and comes outward. Everything happens inwardly and then spills over into the. And so religion means to bond together or to bring together. And the high priest's jobs, and you can even call them shamans too, because the high priests were really shamans. These are people that have had either near-death experiences, have died and came back. But the only way you can truly experience the spiritual world in an aspect of going there with your soul is to deny the flesh, is to be outside of the body, which is why fasting. Some people do psilocybin. That's another way, or like ayahuasca. All these things emulate a physical death. It's a purging of the temple, and also a way that we are to commune with the spirits. And when you think about the shamans, almost all shaman, what makes a shaman is that they've either had some bout with a health issue or a physical issue, like an attack or something where they were going to die, and they had to tap deep within themselves to heal themselves. And within that healing and that death, they got a glimpse of what it's like to be beyond the veil. And it's to be able to walk both in the physical realm and the spiritual. But in order to have full access to the spiritual realm, you have to deny the flesh, or you actually have to die to the body, and that's still a representation of Christ on the cross, which is our cross. This is, we have to bear our own. Yeah.
Cross that we all have to bear. Yep. We all have our own cross to bear.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. It's so much. Y'all, hope y'all taking this information in. I really do. I am digesting over here. I'm in awe. I love it because, again, a lot of it is confirmation. Like there are things that we know and we know that we know them. But when someone speaks it out loud, it just resonates so hard in my heart. That's where it hits me. I'm just sitting here smiling because I'm just like,
Yeah. And we always say it makes sense, but the senses lie to us sometimes. But when things make sense, especially with that sixth sense, when you hear truth and you know it's truth, there's something inside of you that is like, oh yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is, So.
Oh, I feel you. No, but I feel because it's like it's resonating with your soul. Your soul is understanding, and it's like it's a beautiful thing when you hear truth in a way that it touches you on the inside again. And I love that. That's why I love this this show, Temple Talks, because it can really get to us in a way that other ways of people preaching at you versus them breaking it down and allowing you to ask questions. Because, baby, you go up in the church asking questions you want to. You will not get an invite back. Matter of fact, these doors are closed to you, devil. Get out to send you back to hell.
Exactly. You'll get thrown out quick. Be called the devil and the snake and everything else.
That's right, Josie. Once you put them goggles on, you cannot take them off.
Take them
They are
off.
sealed on. I know. Listen, it's so beautiful how you describe the shaman, because a lot of people, and again, you definitely can be initiated, but your soul calls to certain things because of who you were before. So some of us, we've been lifetimes,
Yeah.
living that. And so when we hear certain things, it may not take so long for it to resonate for us, because we've already, it's like, oh yeah, it's coming back from life. Oh yeah, of course.
Right.
So yeah, that's like when I first met Ptah, when I first met him, I knew it. I was just like, oh, this is gonna be great. Like Tony Hickman, shout out to Tony Hickman. It's where I seen you on Tony Hickman. You had connected on Instagram, and I was just like, oh, I thought this was gonna be about food, but I realized it was gonna be much deeper, especially once I found out he was a Pisces. I was like, oh, he's been through the sacrifices in life. Like he knows, because Pisces, again, is the 12th house, right? It's the house of endings and new beginnings, but it's also, hidden enemies and, the secrets. And we've been through all the other signs, and you have knowledge built up. So again, these past lives knowledge, that to me is what resonates with people. They don't even realize. Like sometimes you'll see people who like certain, like I have a friend, she's into all Indian stuff. She doesn't know why, she just loves it, right? And I'm like, because that's a past life. You're still connected to you're always going to be connected to who you were, but you're also becoming more of who you truly are every lifetime. But we bring those things with us. So when certain people speak and they say things, it hits you in your heart space because it's true to you on a soul level. And so I love that. When I come here, I always get some beautiful information that just makes me go deeper into the foxhole.
Exactly. I mean, they call it food for thought, right? They're synonymous. Knowledge is food for the mind, and it's very important that we feed our mind good stuff. And I don't try to convince anybody of anything that I know. I have receipts, and it's up to other people to go and dig and find it to see what I'm saying, if what I'm saying is factual or not. And I'm always open. If somebody has something that they want to share, or has a question about something, or questions anything, I'm always willing to look into it, because I don't want to be giving out wrong information. But I do sit down with this stuff and I study it a lot. And not only that, I get epiphanies, I get things that I put together in meditation, or just in my alone time in the silence, where things just come, just get downloaded in. And I'm like, oh yeah, like that makes total sense. Like I don't even have to really think about it too much, but I'm gonna go look for myself anyway, just to do my due diligence.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, that those downloads be real too. That's another thing. It's like the downloads and the information that we get externally, it's not even external, internally. Then we find confirmation externally sometimes. Like I'll be sitting here and having, again, a thought maybe a week or so ago, and you'll say something and I'll be like, wow, thank you, God, for confirming. Because a lot of times we'll just think it's just a thought or a theory, but then someone who's done the research, because sometimes we don't have enough time. That's why again, this platform is so important to me, because we have so many different starseeds with different talents. And a lot of us don't have the time to, learn every single thing. We don't have time to learn all about numerology, all about the Bible. Like we're all of us have a skill that we're masterful at. But when we come here, we can get the information, bits of information, and then go do our own research, and then come back to the platform, and you can ask the questions that you really want to ask, and that's the beauty of it all, that Ptah comes here and he shares this information with us, but he does these studies, and I'm going to let him tell you about himself, because some people don't know you. They asked the questions in the comments. There was a question about where you were from. Were you from Pittsburgh?
Oh, I'm from Virginia. I was born and raised in Virginia.
What part, VA?
A little town called Pulaski.
Okay.
Like 20 minutes south of Blacksburg, which is where Virginia Tech is, and about an hour from Roanoke. So, can you tell? I guess it's my accent sometimes.
Yeah, it's your accent.
Like, man, that boy sound country.
And we call him the Sun Chaser because this man is always where the sun is, okay? He is not out here freezing with us in the DMV right now. Like, he's from Virginia, but he is not out here. So if you go back and watch a couple of shows, we talked about that. Perry is everywhere the sun is, but you can catch some of the reels where you can see him out in beautiful Sedona, Arizona. And it's just so gorgeous. And I'm going to meet him there one day and we're going to have a good old time. But he just takes his spirit everywhere. And I'm going to tell you, you're needed in those places. Like, your energy is so uplifting. Even coming here, like, the information that you share with us is needed for real at this time. A lot of people are going to be shell-shocked, I think, in these coming years with the information that continues to roll out in this age of knowing. And they're going to need someone to help guide them without saying, I told you so. But look, this is what you need to do now, or this is what we can do now. And this is what, yes, that, because I see texts and people be like, throwing the Bible. I wouldn't throw the Bible away. There's some plenty of information in there. You just have to know what you're reading and how to read it. And you have to always reapply that information to yourself, because that's what it's for. It's a self-guide.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And just like you said, you have to chew up the meat and spit out the bones sometimes, or you have to ruminate like the cow over information. Sometimes you got to chew it up, spit it out, sit back on it and, see if it works for you, if it makes sense for you. But
for sure.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. There's something, because we're all going to have some cognitive dissonance, like when I first wrestled with this stuff, I was watching certain people that I resonated with, and they would say stuff and it would challenge me, and I'd be like, oh man, like, hold up, and they'd say something and I'd pause it and then go see if I could find it, and if I couldn't find it, I'd question it, and then I'd just ask my higher self and basically ask myself, in time, please show me if this is true or not. And 10 times out of 10, I was shown it, or I found it myself, because I dig. I want the treasure, so I'll dig and dig and dig until if I find it. And if I can't find it, I know that I can lay it to the side and keep going. But I definitely got what I looked for. That's for sure.
Yes. You look, what you seek is seeking you. That is so true. Once you start going down that rabbit hole, I started my journey awakening back in 2012. And I remember waking up around a bunch of people who thought I was crazy because it was just like so much. And I wanted to share with everybody. And I realized, just like you said, it's kind of like a rude awakening. If you start to wake people up who are not ready, who did not ask you to, who have an alarm clock set for 8 p.m. and you waking them up at 8 a.m. talking about, girl, do you know? And they just like, Jesus said don't talk about that stuff. And you're like, okay, I don't know who to talk to. But at that time, we are waking up so that we can wake others up later. And I said this on the last podcast, that these podcasts are, yes, we're doing them now, but they're going to be for those who really need them later. Like, a lot of people are still not there, and they won't be until they actually see it. Because a lot of people, they don't believe anything until they see it. But we're in the age of knowing where you want to see? Yeah. Let me show you. And then it's going to be like, okay, I need to go online and see what the heck. And that's what this is about. I spoke about Dilbert Blair was my first master teacher that I had discovered and went down the rabbit hole with. And I remember watching Dilbert Blair's lectures and thinking so many people were talking, or just like a whole bunch of noise, and even Phil Valentine, or they'll be in these little places. And me now, if we could even have a Dr. Dilbert Blair back, I'm sure it wouldn't even be a pin drop in the room, because we're at a time where that energy is now being honored. But back when he was speaking the same information that we need now, people weren't ready for it. So it's just like, yeah, okay. But now it's like we respect that type of energy. And so it's so important to, no matter who listens at this time or who listens when you're speaking, to still speak it, to still say it, because you don't know who's going to need to hear it later when they're ready.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's interesting, even in the concept of like seeing is believing. I mean, the whole basis on most of Christianity is actually believing without seeing. So it's always funny when people be like, "Well, I got to see it to believe it." And I'm like, damn, you just was in this other thing where it tells you to walk blindly, basically. You know?
Basically.
So that's always an ironic thing to hear, but yeah. Is there any more questions? I don't want to go too deep. You know, I like to just give people like, you know, a little bit to chew on at a time. I don't want to like overload anybody.
Right. No, Melissa said, yeah, people are so quick to throw it away, the Bible. And I agree. It's so much, you know, they say like a scientist reads so many books and still does not know anything. But people will read one book and think they know everything. The Bible is not the only book with information, because there are scriptures and there's miles of scriptures under the Vatican. The Bible is missing plenty. There's plenty of books. We've heard of them, right? There's plenty of missing books from the Bible. So there's so much more to learn. And we should definitely be more open-minded to the fact that, you know, these scriptures, though they've been tainted by man's hand, they definitely hold gold in them. The book of Psalms alone, I have an actual book that's separate of all the Psalms, and Psalms are spells. You know, these are different. That book of Psalms has so many different spells you can use in your own life to enhance your life just by saying these certain scriptures. So it's definitely not to be thrown out.
Oh, for sure. And it's funny you say about this book, you know, this whole book is something that is actually inside of you anyway, like to read and toil over, you know, like I love books, you know, I have like a big library. It's not with me now, but, you know, I'm like a avid book collector. I love being led to books that I'm told to go get that have certain informations in them, whether I know what's in them or not. Eventually it comes up. But there's actually a scripture in Revelation where it's Revelations 5. 1 where it says, and I saw in the right hand, remember it's always the right of him that sat on the throne, a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. So anybody that reads that has to know, like, there's some type of symbology in that. You know, it's really hard to look at that and be like, I'm going to take that literal. But even in the literal, like even in the, you know, it is literal in the spiritual sense, and that it's saying that anything that you're seeking outside of yourself that's within you, it's written on your backside, which is where it talks about the spine. You know, that's the spine of the temple, in which, you know, your cerebral spinal fluid goes up and down. But that's Jacob's ladder. That's where your fluids run up and down your back that provide information from the brain stem all the way down into the other parts of the body that help communicate through the nervous system. So even in here, in the 7 seals being your 7 chakras, right? You know, we know that's the main part of it. I do believe that there's more than just 7, but those are the ones that we are to deal with first. You know, there's the seven vices and the 7 virtues, and one must turn the vices into virtues, which is basically the same as speaking on going from the flesh to the spirit. You know, and that's why a man or a woman who is righteous doesn't need a law, because they inherently do what needs to be done without a ruler. They're self-governing. You know what I mean? You don't have to have a ruler. You don't have to have a government. People are self-governing, and when you have people that are self-governing, they are just righteous in nature. So.
Yep. I totally agree. Melissa's she's on it. She on it tonight. She said, yep, it's the 7 chakras. She said it. Yes, we are righteously automatically. That's why. But see, that also tells you that there are people who are unrighteous. They need some guidance out here too. There are people out here who will not do the right thing. And I believe that, we also were put here to help. There are people out here who will just do the right thing to their own detriment,
Right.
And I believe that those people, I look at them as almost like earth angels, because they are here to really teach the lessons to those who are, again, more fleshy.
Yeah.
And we have what, 7 level, they say it's like 7 layers of consciousness as well. That number 7.
Yeah.
We gotta get into that.
Heavens,
7
heavens.
heaven,
Yeah.
the 7 seals,
Dimensions. Yeah. It's a lot of 7s in there.
the 7 deadly sins.
Yep. 7 days of the week.
7 days of the week. Yeah. It's a lot of 7s.
A lot of 7s.
Yes. We're gonna be so look forward to so many more conversations, because I definitely know that this gets even deeper. And then as we're talking about those numbers, I look forward to you and Mr. Westbrook's discussion. Yes, that's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna hook y'all up, and y'all can coordinate the date and just let me know. On the back end, because I'm gonna be sitting back I'm gonna be like, what?
You talking
about?
I'm
not gonna get blown, huh?
Talking about creating new neural pathways.
Yes, I know. You're gonna get in there. You're gonna get in there with a machete and start chopping down trees for a new joint. She says, "You need to do a show, Rael, on the Rael, cause I have heard you say it so much on that. On the 7s, yes, 7 layers of consciousness, yes." And then there's we definitely gonna do a show on with the numbers, and I'm thinking there's probably other parts of the star seeds that could probably contribute too, because it gets deep. But yes, thank you for tonight. I really love Temple Talks. It really does keep your brain going. Now I just want to go get my Bible and look at some other stuff and hey Perry. So
yeah. That's why I like being a chef, because I get to feed people physically, and I like being a teacher because I get to feed people spiritually. So I'm a chef on both ends. I'll be serving up the good dishes that you eat, and then I'll be serving up the good food for the mind. So it's kind of
absolutely cool. We need that. We need that more. Look, when you say starve the temple, yes, we may fast physically, but then when we fast physically, we are feeding ourselves spiritually. We are more open to the spirit. So that's just a beautiful thing. I love that you're on your juice fast right now. How long are you going?
It's supposed to be for 14 days, but I might go longer. I might eat after. I haven't made my mind up yet, because I feel like I need to go a little deeper just to heal up some things and tap. I enjoy being tapped in. I actually enjoy feeling like this. I don't study. Like, I always do all things off the top. I don't really study. I just let things flow the way they're supposed to flow, and I get what I'm supposed to get. And I feel like, there's nothing wrong with studying and having something, but anytime that I study and think that I'm going to talk about something, it always goes a different direction anyway. So I just yield to that higher self. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are a lot alike on that. I don't ever write anything down. I just let divine lead the conversation. So when we talk, I'd be like, so what you gonna talk about? But I'd be like, I don't know. We're gonna see how it goes. I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna even ask him again. I already know that's how he gonna say.
Right.
But that show, just I'm gonna hook you and Nick up on IG, so you guys can coordinate a date for that, because I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. I think that's gonna be a really dope show. For season 6, y'all, we going into season 6, so be prepared.
Yeah, exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. It's to wing it. Absolutely. That's the best way to do it, is to wing it, because you're going off divine energy. You're allowing the energy just to flow through you, and it is what it is. You can't make mistakes when you wing it.
No, definitely. Especially when things are just coming in. Just boom.
They just downloads.
Yeah.
I did last show have a book recommendation, and I'm going to share this again with you, Starseeds, before we get off. So if
while you're doing that, I'm gonna use the bathroom again.
Okay, go ahead. All right. So let me add this so you can see it closer. If you are into learning more about your North and South Node, this book is amazing. It is called Astrology for the Soul. I do not get paid. I know I promote it often, but I do not get paid to promote it. I'm just letting you know that it's a really dope book to tap into. It goes in depth about your North Node and your South Node. If you have your North Node or South Node and want to know some information, I might do a show where I just go through and read out certain information, but I do recommend you grabbing it for yourself, because if you know other people's North Node and South Node, this will help you be able to even guide them into different types of jobs you may be well equipped to. This is attune into others, self-motivation. So it's all based on your North and South Node. And if you don't know, your North and South Node are like the North and South Pole, right? And you come from that South Node, and then you move towards your North Node, and your South Node is where you've been and your North Node is where you're going. So if you are interested, it's called Astrology for the Soul by Jane Spiller. I think it's a really dope book. And I will do an episode where I go in, and if you put in your North and South Node, we'll get into this book. But I just wanted to recommend it for those moving on their astrological journey. All right, let me get Mr. Ptah back.
Yeah, that juice be running through me, boy.
It's so funny because we all know where you went. So we're all like, well, welcome back.
Welcome back.
But is there anything else you want to add tonight before we close out?
No, I just appreciate what you do and having this platform for everybody to come to and to let different star seeds be able to use their gifts and the knowledges to be able to share. And your videography, like the introduction and everything, I'll be hyped up like a Friday night football game when you used to come down the steps with the music, like, hey, like. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that. That's cool.
Thank you. Yes, I'll be trying. I run the show the way I want it. I want to watch a show. You know what I'm saying? I want to get hyped up. Then I want to And then my mom was a DJ. Everybody knows my mom was a DJ. So music is so in my blood. So I love to. If it was just me, I'd probably be doing like 30 minutes. Y'all be coming back. Is she started yet? And I'm like, I'm still jamming in the back. Yeah. But I love it. Thank you so much again for taking the time out and sharing your energy with us and sharing your knowledge with us. I'm telling you, it is so much needed, and it's going to continue to be needed as we move into this new calendar year and move into this energy, because I feel like the door has just cracked on the age of Aquarius. We ain't even walked through the door yet, and shit is already
already wild.
Yes. Very much so. The weather, everything is crazy right now. So thank you. I appreciate you.
And I thank everybody out there too for being, receptive and being willing to, listen and at least, consider things that are said and go look it up, going and looking it up. And, just them being here means that you care, or, that you care about knowledge and you want to know more. And that's important. You're not here by an accident. It's because part of yourself knows that there's more. So
you are here by design,
right?
Divine design. So I thank you all for tapping in tonight. It has been a beautiful night. Thank you so much, Ptah. I look forward to you next month. You coming back next month, or you taking a break on me?
It depends on how the
that's right.
Juice bar thing, because we got to move out of here, and so we'll be.
So we'll see.
I was gonna say, we do have a temporary location for now after we leave here. So if things are pretty, stable at that point, then there's a possibility. But we'll be in contact. As you know,
okay, for sure. All right, y'all. So you're going to be on the edge of your seats, but he definitely will be back for season 6, y'all. So make sure you tapped in. Keep up with your journals, because, baby, it's going to get deeper and deeper. Thank you for tapping into Paranoia Starseed Podcast, y'all. Paranoia means that the universe is always working in your favor, no matter what it feels like. I know it get crazy, but listen, sometimes when you're chosen, it feels like you're frozen. I love that song. We're going out with the spark. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Got a body, moving by the pound, nigga. Heard about me, come and grab the crown, nigga. Got a body, moving by the pound, nigga. Heard about me, come and grab the crown, nigga.
Yeah. Love. Sometimes when you chosen, it feel like you frozen. Them dreams and them visions in your mind, but you hold them back from yourself, like you don't know you golden. But now it's time to take back the greatness that was stolen. Wearing your heart on your sleeve, those clothes start folding. That should've had you taking back the love that you loaned them. Your angels and your ancestors with you and you owe them. They believed in your greatness, so now it's time to show them. Now it's time to dig deeper, gotta activate your genius. Say it's your time and say that shit like you mean it. They was sleeping on your visions, but you already seen them. And time will reveal who was playing and who for real. Now it's time to build, I had to find that spark. Yeah, my life was messy, but I turned it into art. Now I'm busting out the frame, I made power out this pain. They was like, who? Now the world gon' know my name. Now they seeing where I'm at, yeah, I'm all up in they mentions. Now everybody following, I made it out them trenches. They was like, he said that he was gon' do it and he meant it. I had to find that spark, now I ain't stopping till I'm finished. Yeah, this that spark, this that spark. This that gotta find that light through the dark. This that gotta turn that pain into art. This that stop sleeping on yourself, gon' start. Yeah, this that spark, this that spark. This that push your soul in and leave your mark. This that stop playing with it, do it from the heart. This that spark, yeah, this that spark. This that spark. This that spark, this that spark, this that spark. This that spark, yeah. See, I'm here to spark the minds. Tell mama her sun shining, she can open blinds. I made it a while back, see that was hard to vocalize. The way this world vocalize, we blind to who we are. But see, I'm here to open eyes, self-driven, mobilized, God body globalized. Even the hood feel me, heard of Bone Thugs harmonize. They wanna see us traumatized, but we broke the traumatized. Now they surprised. I had to find that spark. Remember days trapping, raised run that rock, Canaan Stark. I had to find my power though. Days I was starving, now my bread thick as sourdough. Yeah, I beat the streets and the system. Whoever walked away from me when I was down, I never miss them, cause I'm up now. 18-foot ceilings, I'm out of touch now. Never duck down. Lakes in the backyard, I'm seeing ducks now. They saying it's luck now. No, it's all God. Anything I want, it's all mine. Over matter. Keep your statistics, we over data. Forget the naysaying, we over chatter. We up now, it's time to drop the ladder. This that spark. It's time to hit your target, throw that dart. When you're back against the wall, you are art. You are art, so you ought to spark. Yeah. It's a marathon, on your mark. Ready, set, go, never let go. You are special. This that spark. Yeah, this that spark. Spark.
Tried to save the world, that change started with me. Rescue my own soul with the chains wrapped around my feet. I reprogram my beliefs, I'm no longer feeling incomplete. I'm fulfilling prophecies, I'm raising kings and queens. I'm planting seeds and I'm harvesting. I'm screaming, free the world, baby, until the whole world is free.
niggas are stressing to pay the lease. When children dying off in the street, the billionaires is gluttonous, getting fat off of greed. And what does it mean to be free if every time I look in the mirror I judge me? When they told me my pigment was ugly, how could I ever expect somebody to love me? Self-hate all in the subconscious. Healing yourself is a lifelong process. Instagram making it seem trendy. Wearing crystals ain't gon' solve all your problems. Send a prayer for those stuck in violence. North Philly all the way to Chicago. Free the Congo, free Gaza. Free the world, releasing all the trauma. We done felt enough pain. I just wanna see you smile and be free, and be free. And be free. Yeah. If you wanna see a change, go and look in the mirror and find peace, find peace. Hey, find peace. I want to be free. I just wanna be. And I just like to be me. But I want to be free. I just wanna be. And I just like to be me. Myself from addiction, walking around in life playing the victim, passing down disease onto my children, making excuses for low vibrational living. I free myself from the baggage, heavy aura was holding down my passion, cause I used to want to fight every battle, filled with rage, ready for action. But nowadays my peace is priceless. Channel my empathy, but I'm staying decisive. Selective on who I'm sharing my light with. My boundaries getting strong as a bison. I no longer define wealth with dollars. The wickedest folks making the biggest deposits. You ask me what it means to be free. Your intuition the one to give you the key. We done felt enough pain. I just wanna see you smile and be free, and be free. And be free. Yeah. If you wanna see a change, go and look in the mirror and find peace, find peace. Hey, find peace. I want to be free. I just wanna be. And I just like to be me. But I want to be free. I just wanna be. And I just like to be me.
It's not possible to constantly hold on the crisis. You have to have the love and you have to have the magic. That's also life. And I regard it, even though it may sound as though I'm dealing in fantasy, I don't think so. I find it all terribly realistic because
they call me lost when I wander. I go as far as I wanna go. Temptation try pull me under, but I won't let it take control. I just move through it like water. I flow wherever I wanna flow. I sing, I write, and I conjure. I've been so low, but still I go. So low, but still I go. So low, but still I go. Imagine walking through fire, never smelling like smoke. When it set with a lion, I walked out in the cold. Saw the water get high, went and built me a boat. Cause if I never could fly, I might as well go and float. I've been living a lie,
I've been living some more. You wanna know how I get it, it's cause I get what I want. Imagine you meeting God and wondering if she smoke. Imagine you seeing God walking out the liquor store. I'd have seen it before. Everything I'm doing now, I said and dreamed it before. Cause once upon a time, I begged for what I needed before. But then I learned that all I had to do was be it before. I found my light and stood up in it like my name was Theotis. Took a flight for new beginnings, hope the universe noticed. And now my home turf cheering me on. Feel like the whole earth cheering me on. My intuition never steering me wrong, I just go. They call me lost when I wander. I go as far as I wanna go. Temptation try pull me under, but I won't let it take control. I just move through it like water. I flow wherever I wanna flow. I sing, I write, and I conjure. I've been so low, but still I rose.
No lie, this morning woke up kinda heavy. Thoughts flooded my brain, almost broke a levee. Let me get steady, let me center myself. Before I do for anybody else, let me consider myself. Check my mental health, self. How's your heart? How you feeling today? What's your capacity for humans? What's your ceiling today? Before you think about them bills, what you building today? Find your flow, don't let them stones they throw get in your way. Weights on my shoulders, let me go to the gym. Let me dig in a good book. Let me find me some gems. Let me replant myself, yeah. Let me water my stem. You lay my root chakra. I know that it's been running on E. I've been fuming. Know the vibes golly. Seem like they forgetting that I'm human. Assuming that I don't need solitude and solace. Before I choose violence, I meditate and pray. I went for a walk. I heard the elders say,
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
I heard the elders say,
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
I heard the elders say, be still, be free, be real. Your life can change any minute, just let time reveal. I know they watching, waiting for me to fall off. The job saying I ain't got permission to call off. Well, I ain't going to work today, I'm working on me. People calling, I ain't talking phone, I'm D&D. She like, when am I gonna see you? When I'm done seeing me. It's easy for people to gaslight you if you out here living on E. It's time to fill up. You gotta deconstruct to reconstruct. It's time to build up. I took some hard blows, Lord knows it's time to heal up. No more looking down, nah, chest out, chin up. Life been moving so fast, before I crash, let me slow down and go on the fast. I'm passing on that old leaving that in the past. They ask, hey, where you been? I ain't seen you in the men. Yeah, I been on my dean, going deeper within, gotta evolve. Don't take it personal, you're more than welcome to get involved. If they ain't what you want, our connection, it might dissolve. What's in the way becomes the way. I went for a walk today, I heard the elders say,
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
I heard the elders say,
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
Mosaic. I heard the elders say,
peace, be still my people. Let yourself feel, that's how you heal my people. Pollution in the food, they trying to kill my people. Health is real, wealth is how you build my people. Let's keep it real, my people. It's getting really scary. No more gang banging. We need a military, black missionary. I'm a visionary. I see my people rising. Every time I sit in silence.
Set yourself down and talk to God.
Heavenly Father,
tell him what's on your mind.
I pray for my generation.
Set yourself down and talk to God.
I pray for my people. Tell them what's on your mind. I pray my people rise. Shut yourself down and talk to God. I pray we free our minds. Tell them what's on your mind. I pray we find peace inside. Shut yourself down and talk to God. Tell them what's on your mind.
Learn to cloud surf while never leaving Earth. 10 toes firmly planted in the dirt for what it's worth. See my life flash before my eyes a couple times. So I'd be lying if I said I don't believe in the divine. For reasons we can't find, the truth will probably blow our minds. This energy in the universe send chills down your spine. Had a talk with a goddess about human design. Pull my code to how I need to get my chakras aligned. Gotta break some bad habits, it's addition by subtraction. Move away from bad actors, trying to leech off your action. It's the laws of attraction, gotta see it before it happens. Gotta believe it with a passion, then receive this beautiful madness. Find a pattern in the chaos, their assessment was way off. You build it from the ground up, you own it, so ain't no layoffs. Your energy is equity, cashing on your day off. Hope to reach a couple souls, it's all a part of the payoff.